Hit him up means I asked him where you from. As soon as he told me where he was from, I started bombing on him. Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a lot of fun fighting.
The more violent you get, the more respect you get in that environment.
So this is more than just fighting for you. This is almost like when someone goes to their job and works hard for a promotion.
This is a resume. He gets me off the car, and I have the gun in my waist. He starts searching me. 1, 2. By the time he did the third, I went like this and I ran. So I run, throw the gun. There's a bunch of cops, all of them undercover. So when I'm crossing the street, one of them hits me. It hits me, I go flying. If the cops behind you, it's hard to get away. But if they're coming in front of you and then they're gonna flip it, man, you have all the time in the world to get away.
That's some smart intel right there.
If you want to do a second episode besides this with me, let's do a Hood Blocks in Bakersfield.
Ooh, okay.
Let's just show up. And we'll put on both of our platforms because I got a lot of fools that hit me up.
Yep.
And I'll just put on my platform. Let's do a gang vlog.
Yep.
We'll go to your hood right now.
That sounds
and
sick.
Me and you will pull up.
I'm down for that.
I'm down.
That sounds fun.
Just pay for my gas and we good.
That sounds like some good content to me. If y'all want to see that, let us know in the comment section. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back to the Gobcast. I don't know what episode number we're on because I stopped counting a long time ago. But we're back once again with another very special guest. Today, I wanted to get an expert on California gang culture in here because I'm new to the state, and I want to learn today. You guys saw the episode with Freddie, our maintenance guy a couple months ago, and he talked about turning his life around after being a gang member for a while. And it kind of inspired me to hear more tales like that. So I got Cholo Juan on the show today.
Cholo Juan in the building. I ain't no expert, by far no expert, you know what I'm saying? The experts are the ones that are testifying in court, and I'm not going to testify for nobody. But I do have a little bit of knowledge when it comes to gangs. So before we even dive in, I would like to tell the people that are watching, I do this for people like myself. That way you can see the progress that I'm doing, and you can see some of my background. That way you could, connect.
Yep.
Let's get it, boy.
That's mainly why I wanted to have you on the show, because the way I found you is I was watching an interview for someone else that we were planning to have on, and the next episode just started playing automatically, and it was yours. And I was in the car, and I'm listening to it, and I didn't even see like whose episode it was or anything. It's just playing. I was like, who is this dude? Like, this guy's interesting. This guy's a good speaker. He's funny.
Just let me know where you want to start, what you want to know. And I'll break it down to you in the best way I know how to.
All right. So the first question that I have before we even get into like anything about your life or anything, I'm really curious, in your own words, what do you think makes a cholo?
What do I think makes a cholo? Well, the image of cholos I have is when I was about 10, 11 years old, or even 8, 7 years old, I've been around cholos, different neighborhoods where I lived at, and the cholos were the gangsters. You know what I'm saying? The gang members are on the hood, Mexican, because I grew up in nothing but Mexican communities. And a cholo's a hardcore gangster to me. Now it's like the Edgars. It's a different generation. They have hair. Usually my generation, we're all bald. Around 2008, they started getting fades.
Oh, so shit's changed a lot.
It's changed a lot. A lot.
And I mean, you've been really kind of around, this lifestyle since a very young age.
I was exposed to it because we lived in Ventura Avenue. Shout out to Ventura Avenue in the projects. So I was exposed to the gang life at a very young age without my parents really knowing, like they were just forced to live there because of the.
So it wasn't a situation where like your parents were gang members.
No.
You were just living in an environment where you were really close to them.
The environment was just a gang member environment. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To go to the store, all the homies are posted right there, and I gotta, pretty much get exposed.
You gotta
to
say
that.
what's up at least,
Well, they were my friends. To be honest, they were my friends. Like the gangsters that are gang members now, they were all my friends. So
yeah, those are the people you grew up with.
And to me, I look at them as now normal. But back then, I was kind of like afraid of the gang members, like, oh, man, those are gang members right there. They're going to beat me up.
Yeah. So you said around the 5th grade is when you first kind of started to become, you'd call gang adjacent.
Yeah,
Is that the right word for it?
Around that time, we lived in Island Acres in Oxnard,
Mm-hmm.
city of Oxnard. It's controlled by a gang named El Rio. That's what I claim.
Mm-hmm.
And I started flirting with the gang, like, oh, I want to be from the hood,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't like to be official, you got to come around and you got to, you got to get baptized. You got to go to church and you got to get jumped in.
So there's a religious aspect of it.
That's the religious aspect of it,
Interesting.
But that's what you gotta go through to be a legit gang member. Because right now there's dudes that might claim the hood, but if they didn't get jumped in by somebody that I jumped in, somebody that jumped them in, you know what I'm saying? Like along the way,
Yep.
they're not from the hood. They're not accepted as real gang members.
Yeah, it sounds like you kind of have to go through that official, it's almost a ceremony.
It is it is a ceremony. It is a ceremony, and back then we were able to speak more freely about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like they started charging people. They start giving for that you get like a gang street terrorism act. So you get a lot of years for some stuff like that. For just initiating a gang member.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you get a street.
So they got to be a little more careful with that now. You can't really.
I mean, I stopped worrying about that a long time ago now. So I kind of lost track of who gets jumped in now or not.
Yeah.
But when I was jumping people in, is statutes of limitations has elapsed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna say no names.
Yeah, we don't need any names.
They can't take me to court regardless, But when I was jumping fools in, I was younger and it was just a ceremony, a process.
Yep. Yeah, it seemed kind of normal, almost like a good thing. Like, wow, you completed your ceremony.
Yeah,
your initiation.
I remember every time somebody got jumped in, whether I participated or was just watching, I've always gave them a hug and made them feel good about it. Like, oh, welcome to the family. Now you're part of us. You're one of us.
So outside of kind of living that lifestyle, would you say that you were a good kid to your parents and kind of otherwise?
Well, you know what? I lived in my dad, he was like a construction worker. He was really never around, but he made sure he paid all the bills. We always had a roof on our shoulders. I can't come over here and claim poverty or stuff like that because I didn't really go through that. My dad was always working,
Yep. Your family kept you fed.
When he was around, he was a little strict, But there's a saying in Spanish that says that it's a branch. It doesn't matter if you try to mold it. If it's crooked, it's gonna be crooked. It's a Spanish saying. So I feel like I was crooked since I was a little kid. I used to fantasize about gangs.
Really?
Yeah.
From like how young?
Probably like 8, 9.
That's crazy.
Yeah. By 10, I was already in love. Like, I have to be a gang member,
So do you think that's like a side effect of the environment you were in? Or do you think even if you lived somewhere nicer, you still would have been thinking that way?
I still would have been thinking that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because in Mexico, the culture is different, right? The culture, it depends if you grew up in the city. I can't even speak for the whole Mexico. I could just speak for Aguascalientes, Zacatecas, where I used to live at.
Yep.
And right there, everybody was cowboyed out, like cowboy hats, cowboy boots. And we've heard of the cartels, but the exposure really wasn't there until like 2006. I haven't been there since 2001.
Got the up out of there.
If I would have grew up over there, I probably would have been a cartel member.
That's crazy to think about.
Or maybe not a cartel member. I don't know how they work, but for sure affiliated with them.
And in your mind, that seems like you might think that's even cooler than living the lifestyle here. No?
Well, it depends where you're at. Living here, it's not cool to do that.
Yep.
Because the consequences, are very, very, very high.
Of course, yeah.
But living over there, that's the only choice you have. And I was exposed to extreme violence when I was in Mexico, but not cartel violence.
Yeah. Cartel violence seems like it's a whole different breed.
Yeah.
That's scary stuff.
But there's still extreme violence over there.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
So, growing up kind of wanting to live that gang lifestyle, adjacent to that, what age did you actually get jumped in?
Well, I don't want to pinpoint the age.
Okay.
Because and not because of the law enforcement, but I went through a little struggle, because I lived on the other side of Oxnard, it was like I felt like I was getting more pressure from my neighborhood, you know, than other fools that might have a cousin or a brother, you know. So I went through the process a few times, you know, but I feel like I was legit when I was like 14,
Okay.
15.
That's young, dude.
Well, that's kind of old if you really think about it.
Really?
Yeah, I had homeboys that were like 11, 12. Yeah.
That's nuts.
I felt like I was a late bloomer, you know. I
Before
wasn't
my
a late bloomer.
balls dropped, dude.
Excuse me. I wasn't a late bloomer as jumping off the porch
Uh-huh.
at an older age. But I felt like 14, 15, seeing my friends already being involved in crazy stuff at 11 or 12, 13, I felt like I was already a little old.
Yeah. So as someone that's that young and, you know, a member of the gang, let's see, not even you specifically, you know, just those 11 or 12-year-old people that you knew that were already jumped in, what are some of the things that they would be doing? Like, were they doing low-level stuff, like just doing graffiti or like...
Just little shootings, little robberies, you know, just
little
stuff.
shootings?
Yeah, little shootings.
That doesn't sound little.
No, well, I mean, there's shootings to where people die,
Uh-huh.
and there's shootings where somebody might or might not get hit.
So there's more like kind of send a message type of shooting. Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, one of my friends was in shootings when he was like 13 years old. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And the thing is that he never killed nobody or nothing like that. But he was still shooting, you know? So that's like part of the process, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was other dudes that just didn't care. And like I had a friend at 14 years old, I believe. 15 tops. But I think he was 14. Walked in Kmart. I don't know if you're familiar with Kmart.
I know Kmart, yep.
And robbed
When I was
him.
young, they were closing down already.
Pulled out the gun and robbed him.
Oh, my God.
Went to the cashier. Give me all your money.
That's a big store to rob.
That's a big store to rob. And then to top it off, behind the Kmart, there was some apartments where the cameras could see that they went inside there. So the SWAT team hits them after that, and they gave him juvenile life. Till he was
crazy.
25. He got out when he was 23. So he did 9 years.
Wow. That's got to fuck you up at that age, going in for 9 years.
Well,
and
see,
coming out.
let me tell you the fun part about going to jail for us, El Rio gang members in the system. Our enemies is Colonia Chiques, which is the biggest gang in the 805. And we're one of the smallest gangs, but we're right next to them. So they're our enemies, you know?
Yep.
So when the homie hit the CYA, every YA that he went to, he had at least 20 enemies from that hood, plus all their friends. He said that when he first got there, they shot him a list of 50 people that he had to fight. As soon as he got there, they told me, hey, this is all the fools that you have to fight. And if you don't start fighting them, you're going to be no good to the rest of the institution. Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
You know, I've heard quite a few stories of people like going to jail and even people who grew up in gang culture. And what's really crazy to me about the stuff that you're saying is it's super violent and you're very like nonchalant about it. Like you're very like, oh yeah, just a little shooting. Like, oh, we had to fight 50 people. This is super crazy to me.
No, well, at that age, I'm pretty sure if I was there at that age, 50 people, I probably would have been like, why 50?
Yeah.
Like, what did I do to you? You know what I mean? But now that I grew up in that environment, you know what I mean? I'm desensitized to violence. I mean, I go through violence all the time. To us, like I try to separate civilians from people that grew up like me. People that grew up like me is like if you can't get along, you're gonna have to fight, and it's normal. Whereas people that are civilians, I try to give them more chances.
Yeah.
You know, like certain words, like the word bitch. You know, if a gang member calls me that, whether it's an accident or not, it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah, it's up
And
immediately.
if it's a civilian, I could actually, tell him. In my mind, I don't feel like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I could actually be like, hey, please don't use that word. If they keep on using it, well, of course.
Yeah, then shit's going to happen.
Then shit's going to happen. But see, that's the way I see it. But not everybody sees it like that. There's people that would just react, you know?
Yeah, it seems like you're pretty level-headed about it.
I think I'm one of the most level-headed, on the most level-headed side. Yeah, I think there's people that are too institutionalized to where they don't know how to separate
Yeah, I mean that messes up your brain, dude.
It does.
Going in and out of jail that much.
Just a little cell, like this
Yeah.
last time I was in there, I felt like the walls were closing in.
Yeah, and especially doing that at such a young age has got to really mess you up. I feel like if I were to go to jail as an adult right now, I could probably handle it way better than if I went to jail when I was like 14.
Yeah, I know. And then now you probably lived or been exposed to a lot of more stuff that will help you understand. See, when we were kids, I remember fighting and getting the pepper spray in juvenile halls, and like it hurt, but you can't really be right there voicing it because everybody goes through it, and you have to be like this macho type of dude, But you're a little kid.
Yeah, you
You're
got to be
16,
tough
17,
on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time that you went to juvie?
Yeah.
How old were you?
Excuse me. The first time I went to juvie, I was probably 15.
That's young.
So I remember the first night I was there, there was this one dude, he was 18. And he had already been to the youth authority. I don't know if it was 16 months, 18 months, but he had already been there and got out and violated. So he was in the juvenile halls with us. And I was 15, he was 18. And he said, I'm going to fight that guy because I don't like his hood, And I remember all night he was banging on the door, singing his neighborhood jams, which is our opposite to us, rivals to us. And then there was this dude that did the Zapatista riot. It was this dude from Crimeys, this dude from two dudes from the Crazy Boys. Two dudes from the Crimeys and a dude from the Crazy Boys. They refused to go to their cells, and they started wrestling the staff, throwing chairs everywhere, So my first time being in there, I was like, damn, it gets crazy in here,
Yeah, and you're brand new to the system. You're looking around like, holy fuck, this is different.
Yeah, the next day, I was supposed to fight that guy in the morning, but he was sick or something. He was start throwing up.
Yeah.
So the next time I came out, he called me into the restroom, and we got into a fight.
Who won the fight?
He did.
Oh.
He was older, bro. What the hell?
Come older,
on.
bigger guy.
People say age don't matter. It matters, bro.
Especially at that age, bro. 3 years is a huge difference when you're that young.
Plus, he had already been through the youth authority fighting all kinds.
Yeah, he's toughened up already.
Yeah.
You're brand new in there.
I'm brand new, bro. I'm like, come on, now give me a break. Can I fight one of the guys I went to school with?
That was like your inauguration into juvie.
Yeah.
After that, it's like, fuck. Now you're ready to go.
Yeah, after that, I didn't get beat up as bad.
So how long were you in for that first time?
The first time, I was probably there maybe a 6-month sentence. I probably did 4.
Okay, that's a good
4
amount of time.
months, yeah.
What were you in for?
I was sitting for brandishing a weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching, as I was getting ready for this, I was watching your past interviews, and you said, like, a lot of the stuff you got in trouble for was weapon related.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was there for that, but my fights were gang related. Everything else was gang related. I remember getting into that fight, and then they threw me on a lockdown unit. So they had units 1, 2, 3, 4. They were sending me with the big boys to the 1. That's where the 17, 18-year-olds are at. The bigger guys in size. And then there was unit 2 and 3 where the littler guys were at, but 3 had converted into a lockdown unit. So I'm right there in the lockdown unit, and they put me with 2 guys from my neighborhood, from my gang. And there was no restroom in there, We had to bus up to go take a piss.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I remember.
That's crazy.
That's cruel and
You
unusual.
can't even go piss on your own?
No. That's cruel and unusual punishment now that I think about it.
100%.
So I felt better, my homeboys were right there, and they're like, yeah, fool, when you come out, just attack these fools, So we came out again, and then we went to the yard. And then some dude, ran up on me. So we start fighting. And then 5 days later, they let us out again. And we were in the unit 1 and another fight, And then there was this dude, another 18-year-old. I'm still 15. He was from Camarillo, I remember. And it was a big deal to where they had got into it with my homeboys in the streets.
Yeah.
And he was the one. So when they let him out with me, I tried to give him the heads up. I hit him up. Hit him up means I asked him, where you from?
Okay.
So he should already be ready. As soon as he told me where he was from, I started bombing on him, Pop, 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 pop. Man down. Not man down, but everybody go down. Yeah. That was my first time in juvenile halls. After that, I couldn't fight no more because they segregated me from everybody.
Mm.
They said once you have so many, because I was, it was called temporary segregation.
Yep.
That means you only come out with fools you get along with. And I got into a fight during that, so they segregated me. So for the rest of the time, I didn't get into no more fights. I wanted to, but I couldn't see my enemies no more.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a lot of fun fighting. Like
Well,
you really, it sounds like you love it.
No, well, when you fight, the more violent you get, the more respect you get in that environment. You know, and now it's juvenile halls. It's not just my neighborhood. It's not just my enemies. We're right there with homies from all the county, you know, for the whole county.
Yeah.
So everybody starts recognizing you. So, of course, you know.
So this is more than just fighting for you. This is almost like when someone goes to their job and works hard for a promotion.
This is a resume.
Yeah.
This is your resume.
Yeah. You're working hard to get that promotion.
Yeah, well, you're just,
this.
you know, doing your thing, you know, getting into fights.
Yep. So when you're in juvie and they're putting you on lockdown, what's your daily schedule like on lockdown? How tough is that?
Bro, you know what? To be honest, like, and I regret it now because I wouldn't even read in juvenile halls.
Really?
I wouldn't even read. They try to teach me how to play chess. I didn't want to learn.
Oh, chess is fun, dude.
Chess is fun.
Chess is a lot of fun.
Now I know how to play chess.
Yeah.
12 to 20. That's how I open every time. Air chess. You ever played air chess?
I have. I'm bad at chess, though. I don't
Yeah?
know, like, the technical terms. You'd probably smoke me.
Nah.
You're already saying shit I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I just know what the pieces
Well,
do.
that's like you number them from 1 through 64, right? And if you have your neighbor, he makes a board, you make a board, and if he says 12 to 20, you move the piece from 12 to 20.
Oh, so you just call out to each other where the pieces are supposed
Yeah,
to be.
and you start playing. And
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's it's dope.
What
Chess,
other kind of, like, games can you play from between cells like that?
sink my ship. So
Okay.
through the toilet,
Yeah.
you put all the toilets, and then you number them, the lines and the ones that go down.
Yeah.
And if he mentions one of the numbers, you start taking them off, and that's how you sink the ship.
That's sick. That's probably so much fun when you got nothing else to do, too. Like, that's probably the best shit you can do.
I mean, just talking to people, you know, being on the
Yep.
tier, you know, just socializing with people, it keeps you sane.
And were you like, would they tell you to stop talking to each other when you're talking through the cell like that, or were you allowed to be doing that?
Nah. The staff, they're way over there. You know,
Okay,
they don't
so they're
even
not
care.
that on ass with you. You're allowed to at least talk and.
Yeah. You
that.
could talk. You could talk.
So you do your. You had said 4 months when you went to juvie for the first time.
First time.
After that, you got out. What did you do when you got out? How long before you got in trouble again?
After that, I got out, and the thing is that I got out with no probation. So I didn't get back on probation, you know. I remember being chased by the cops with guns, you know, and everything, and they never got me.
Yep.
You know, I remember being in the car with one of my homeboys. He was on the run. I'm strapped. Everybody's strapped. We jumping fences. The cops get behind us. They don't catch me. They don't catch me, you know. But since I wasn't on probation, I feel like that's what helped me more because can I search you? No, I'm not on probation.
Yeah,
You
you
know
have
what I'm
your
saying?
rights back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I stayed out for like a year that time, you know, and I ended up catching an assault at high school. I went to a rival gang members high school, and I was the only one from my neighborhood, so I had to take off.
Oh shit. Yeah, it doesn't sound like. I mean, why'd you go over there solo?
I just had to go to the high school. I was assigned to go to the high school. It was called Frontier High School. So I went in there, like my homeboys had already told me, like, don't stay there. Just as soon as you see one of them fools, just attack them. And that's what I did.
Fuck. That's serious.
I mean, it's either that or be a little punk in that school because there's like 20, 30 of them.
Yeah, and you can't look like that.
Nah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Hell nah, not me.
So you talk about running from cops a lot. What's like? I mean, me personally, if I'm running from the cops, I'm not getting away. Straight
No.
up, I'm not.
Well,
getting
I'll
away.
tell you one where I didn't get away. Right. I'm trying to meet up this dude. Right. I'm trying to put in work on this dude. You know. I called him out with weapons or whatever he wants to do, and I already did time for this, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
So you're good to go on this.
I'm
one.
good to go on this one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I got charged originally for conspiracy to commit an assault with a firearm on this dude, right? So I'm calling him. He don't want to meet up. And then the cops get there, undercovers, right?
Shit.
So he blocks me from behind on a regular car. It was like, I forgot what those a Charger, a black Charger.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he blocks me from behind. He doesn't have the sheriff's apparel, none of that. He's dressed as a civilian. He gets me off the car, and I have the gun in my waist. Mm-hmm. So he starts searching me, 1, 2. By the time he did the third, I went like this and I ran. So I run, throw the gun. There's a bunch of cops, all of them undercover. Mm-hmm. You know, so when I'm crossing the street, one of them hits me. It hits me, I go flying. When I get down, when I land, they tase me. They start fucking me up. They start, excuse my language, they start beating me up. They start punching on me, tasing me. You know what I'm saying? Slapping me low key. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's just one of the times I ran from the cops, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they just kind of fucked you up and got away with it.
They did. And then
they do that a lot, huh?
And then they go lying on the stand talking about, oh, he had a gun.
Of course.
I threw the gun.
Of course.
I threw the gun.
Yeah, you didn't have a gun then.
No,
they
I
didn't need to fuck you up.
Yeah.
You know? And they obviously knew you threw the gun, you know? Because
if I would have had a gun, they would have shot me.
If they didn't find out about that gun, you wouldn't be talking about it right now. So obviously they found the gun.
They found the gun. They found the gun, dog. They found the gun, dog.
And you didn't have it then. So
and I didn't have it then, homie. It went flying. It went flying. But it's logic. Mm-hmm. If I would have had the gun in my hand and the cop is right there, they would have shot me, bro.
100%.
100%. He's a liar.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. There's the cops aren't punching you when you have a gun.
Yeah,
that's not how they take care of that situation.
No, that's not gonna.
They like to shoot. Any excuse they can get.
They love to shoot.
Excuse, they're taking that shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's just one of those times that I ran from cops that I got caught. You know. There's some that I didn't get caught, and I'd rather keep those to myself.
Of course,
you know?
Of course. So, hypothetically, let's say I get pulled over, right, in the car. I decide I got to bail out. I'm going to run from the cops. What is, like, a pro tip you would give me to get away? Like, what's, like, something I should look for to, like, avoid a cop?
If you're in my neighborhood, try to at least hit the street.
Okay.
Right? And go into one of those long-ass driveways. You just jump out and jump fences, bam, 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 till you get to the other side of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. So do you think it's smarter? Like, you've probably seen a lot of the videos of people who like hide in backyards. Do you think it's smarter to try to hide or just keep running?
Keep running. You know what I'm saying?
That's a pro tip right there, everyone watching.
Well, in my neighborhood, like in my area, they don't really have a chopper like that. You know what I'm saying? That is gonna go looking for you.
Yeah.
If you already jumped 2-3 fences, most likely you're gonna get away. Unless
Thank
you're
God
a truck.
for no chopper.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, here, I mean, the chopper's on you. If it's not the police, it's going to be the news.
Yeah,
you know?
You're done. You're done.
You got to go under the underpass and fucking get out of that way.
I feel like the only way you're gonna get caught is if the cops behind you. Mm-hmm. If the cops behind you, it's hard to get away. But if they're coming in front of you and then they're gonna flip it, man, you have all the time in the world to get away.
Yep. That's some smart intel right there. Everyone watching this, you know, if you're ever running from the cops, just
I think these guys that are on the streets, they already know it.
Yeah, of
you know
course.
What I mean?
Of course.
They already know
100%.
This.
Maybe there's going to be that one guy. I hope there's one dude eventually one day that just thinks back to this episode while he's running from the police and it helps him get away. Now, ladies and gents, let's take a moment real quick to talk about our kind sponsors of this episode, Wham! And in particular, this is Lil Baby's Wham! This is not just any Wham! This is the same name as the album that he just dropped just a couple days ago, so make sure you go tune into that on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever you got, as well as check out some of the Wham! THC and go smoke it, ladies and gentlemen. You should know where to find it, okay? I mean, I can't really tell you exactly where, otherwise I'll get in trouble, but listen, if you follow Lil Baby, you probably already heard about this by now. This is big news, and it's huge that he's stepping into this side of the industry because Lil Baby is actually partnering with the same people that I partner with for Only Gas. So if you think about it, Lil Baby just co-signed my brand. Shout out to Wham! Go smoke this shit. I've been enjoying it, and you should too. Let's get back to the episode.
I just hope, you know, that whoever's watching this episode will more like use it for entertainment purposes.
Oh, of course.
And then ask me, like, what am I doing with my life? And I'm trying to better my life.
And they're going to learn from it.
Yeah.
Yep. So, you know, you got out of juvie for the first time. You're still not really up to any good, it sounds like. How often were you kind of going in and out of juvie at that point?
I stayed out for like a year.
Okay.
And then they gave me that charge, which was assault and battery. And then I didn't want to do the probation, so they sent me to juvie for like 90 days, and I maxed it out, I believe.
Why didn't you want to do the probation?
Probation is just too long, and it's a setup.
It is.
It's a setup,
Yep.
to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they want you back in jail.
They want you, not that they want you back in jail, but it's a job for them. So they want to keep you on probation.
Well, it costs money. You have to pay to be on probation every day.
With your freedom, of course, you know, with your rights and all that. You know?
I don't know how it is here at least, but in the state of Illinois, where I'm from, when I was on probation, I was 18 and I owed money. Like I had to pay for every day I was on probation because of the drug tests I was getting.
Oh.
So they billed me for all of that. So it cost me like.
I think they do bill your parents.
Yep.
When you're underage.
Yep.
Yeah.
They send them that.
Yeah,
bill
you're
for
right.
sure.
You're correct on that.
Yeah. So it costs money. They want you on there, and then they want you to get locked up again because then they can squeeze more money out of you.
Well, see, when you're a kid, and you're living in that environment, you gotta have weapons on you. I didn't feel comfortable without a weapon.
Yeah, you had to protect yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
Otherwise,
So
you're gonna get fucked up.
So on probation, it's hard to be around carrying weapons. Like when I was on parole, I've been arrested minimum 6 times with a firearm.
That's a lot.
Excuse me.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So it was rather get caught with a gun or get caught without it by the ops.
So it sounds like you were able to get back out again on a lot of those gun charges. And
Well, a gun charge only carries 3 years.
really?
Yeah, that's the max they could give you on a gun.
And I mean, you're not getting the maximum most of the time. it
Well,
sounds like,
no,
so.
I only got the maximum this last time I went to prison. Because after the last time I went to prison, I did 5 years.
Yep.
I also went to county jail for the last time. Different things, you know?
Yep. Yeah, you went to the.
But for that, they gave me 3 years for the gun, 4 years for the gang enhancement, just for being a gang member.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So 7 years just for the gun and being a gang member.
Those enhancements are always what get you.
In California, I don't know if they're everywhere, right?
They are for sure.
But they're not going to use it on someone like you, right?
No, I don't.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
have
saying,
that kind
like,
of record for sure.
I feel like they're using it on minorities.
Yeah, I'm a nice white guy with no tattoos, so I'm good. I'm not.
You're good.
I'm not worried in court.
You get caught with a gun, you're only getting through 270 days.
I might even get probation.
You might even get probation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
See,
We
they
might
are
be good.
racist,
No
huh?
time. 100%.
They
Oh,
are
yeah. Well, I've
racist.
been in the court system a lot, dude. I mean, when I was younger, I was up to no good. I got caught with drugs all the time. I never got, like, gun charges. I wasn't a gang member or anything, but I would just get pulled over doing stupid shit, you know, or, like, pulled over while I'm drunk, you know, got a DUI and everything. And I feel like I got off really easy for, like, a lot
What
of the
made you
shit I
move to
did.
California, bro?
Doing this podcast.
Oh,
you
for
know?
real?
Yeah. I mean, back in Illinois, there's just not as many interesting people.
Like I said, look, if you're interested in the next weekends to come, we could just meet up in Bakersfield. We could just announce it, and whoever calls us, we'll go to the hood.
Sounds like a fun episode.
We have to bring a camera again. That's what I don't have, a camera.
We got a guy with cameras. We got a
Yeah.
dude right here with cameras.
You have a drone?
Yeah, I'll take another beer for sure. Yeah, I do have a drone actually.
That'll be cool right there.
Dude, what do you know, dude? We're ready to go for this shit.
Let's go right now.
Let's go to Bakersfield.
Let's go to
Fuck it.
Bakersfield.
Pick up the camera, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do this.
So, oh man, where did we leave off? We were talking about you were kind of going back and forth. You got 6 gun charges, you said?
In my lifetime, yeah.
It's a lot, dude. At any point, as you're kind of going in and out of juvie and you're dealing with this constant legal trouble, did you ever think to yourself?
I think
like,
I was an adult when I got the 6th firearm.
Okay. Most of them were when you were young, like minor?
Well, not a minor, no.
Okay.
No, adult.
Just a young adult.
Just
still.
as soon as I turned 18, I was off probation. The cops cornered me into some type of projects. They're not projects. They're like apartments right there. If anybody knows Oxnard and Jane Drive, I was going to pick up some of my friends from Southside Chiques. I was in their hood. The cops cornered me in there. They let me pass. I parked, closed the car. They still searched it, even though I told them I was not on probation. They found the gun, but they couldn't charge me with it. They charged me with it. I went to jail, and the lady said, my attorney said, I'm going to get you out on illegal search and seizure. That's a
Nice.
motion. So she got me off right away. Like I
a
wasn't
good
even
lawyer.
there. I wasn't even there a month.
That's a good lawyer right there. So while you're kind of going through this and going in and out of jail a lot, did it ever cross your mind that, like, damn, maybe you should change your lifestyle? Or were you always just down for
You know what? I was just all in for the hood. At the time, I was looked at a little bit different because I was already getting out of prison. I was 20 years old getting out of prison, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And all the little youngsters kind of like gravitated towards me. And I felt my responsibility to keep it going, So first day I was already on the block every time I got out from prison.
So it sounds like as you're getting older, you're just gaining more respect and getting deeper into it, and it's harder to get out.
Well, I feel like prison changed my mindset, and I feel like I became a hardcore criminal.
Yep.
When I started getting out of prison, I was more criminal sophisticated, and I just didn't care. Now they call it turned up. I feel like I was turned up,
Yep.
Every time, so like no enemy alive pump fear in my heart.
So do you think going to prison is almost just like going to college for criminals?
It depends how you do your time, because there's people that just do their time reading. They go home and they never come back. And then there's people that make friends in there and they just want to get in trouble. And
They get up to no good.
when you get out, you want to get in trouble. Like what's going on? Let's get turned up. Like, let's make it happen. G-rides, guns, drugs, all that. It's fun when you're young.
Yep.
I found myself getting out of prison from doing 5 years. I fought 2 life sentences. I was 32 years old. And I found myself like, what am I doing? I already grew up in prison all my 20s.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a year in my 20s where I was not in prison.
That's nuts.
You know what I'm saying? There's not 1 year from 2005 to 12 that I was not in Wasco State Prison in the reception center.
That's a lot of time lost.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of time lost. And I get out still with this image, with this illusion. The gangs are, that's what I'm all about. But now I'm broke on the streets. I got 2 strikes, so I can't sell drugs. And it's just everything hits me like, what am I doing? Like I gotta change. And I've been now I'm 38. I've been trying to change since then. For the first few years, it was good because of it was before COVID. So I had a job, and then COVID hit, and I haven't been able to recuperate from then.
COVID fucked everything up,
Yeah.
dude. COVID fucked everything up.
See, like right now, I haven't announced this on social media because I feel like when you announce stuff on social media, it just bad things happen. But right now, I just got my permit for Class A license.
Oh, nice.
I start school soon.
Nice.
So I hope that within the next 3 months, I get into a company where I start driving. I don't know if it's cross country or in the state. But within a year, get our money and then make an episode to where if I did it, you could do it type stuff,
You can make a lot of content out of that. Just recording
Even
your
that-
experience driving across the
right?
country.
But you can make a lot of money working for a legit company.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I want to teach the guys that watch these videos, the little ones. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to get stuck on because I could paint a picture where it looks good to be a gang member.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's not.
It's not cool.
It's not cool.
Why?
Because you're going to end up broke unless you end up balling for a few months and then catch your 3rd strike.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, I can't think of any gang members who did it their whole life, made a bunch of money, never had any problems. It's never worth it.
The snitches might.
Maybe them.
Yeah, maybe them.
But
maybe them.
even then, that's not a lifestyle you want to live.
Yeah, you
Fuck
don't.
being a snitch.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So, you're going in and out of jail a lot. You're experiencing that. What would you say is the hardest thing about adjusting to going to jail from being on the outside?
So, to me, what's the hardest thing about getting out? Because, see, I grew up in there.
Okay.
You're looking at it from a perspective where you're not in there all the
Yeah,
time.
a totally different
And I don't know
perspective
your
on it.
background. You might have.
I
but
was never
what
actually
it sounds
sentenced
like,
to any jail time.
from what it sounds like, you're looking at it from a perspective of being out.
100%.
I look at it from a perspective of, even though I've been out this past few years, which is 6 years, I've done way more time than that.
You're still used to it even now.
Yeah, even now, like when I go in there, I get so used to it.
Yep.
Like when I go in there, like I already want to buy shampoo bottles to clean my floor. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people I mean, some do, some don't, you know, but I'm used to that. I'm like, that's the first thing I buy, you know?
Yep. So I guess to flip the question then, what's the hardest thing about getting out?
Well, the hardest thing about getting out, it's that when you're inside, right? I was still doing crimes in there. I was still, you know, I was still getting into stuff in there, you know? But when I got out, I try to go legit, and it's hard, bro, because you have no job experience.
Yep.
You know, and just life hits you. The bills, everything.
Yeah, you can kind of push it all aside when you're still getting into trouble and making bad decisions, but, like, you can't do that forever, you know? Nobody can.
Especially when you have 2 strikes. I feel like that's what saved my life to a certain extent. I hope I never get struck out. But I feel like the 2 strikes made me look at life different and what I want to really do. Do I really want to go to prison all my life? Or do I want to try? Because right now I'm trying to make something work to, at the end, be a story of success instead of a failure.
I think you should keep doing content. Your videos get a lot of views. I was watching one of your channel.
See, you know, to make content, you need money as well.
For sure.
You know, so
For sure.
I feel like once I felt like last year was my time to shine, but I did one thing wrong. I went all in into content, and I didn't secure a job. I feel like if I secure a job first, even if I don't make it as big as I would have made it last year, I could still make it somewhere with the content.
Yeah, you gotta
especially if I get hired by the Goblin. Yeah, boy.
You gotta have that comfort cushion. You know?
Yes.
You gotta have that job, that base income always, because the content, it's not consistent.
Yeah.
You know.
So I figure that if I become a trucker, you know, and I get that income.
Yep.
You know,
truckers make good money.
You know, every month, steady income. That's what it's called, right? Steady income. Boom. Then YouTube could be my secondary job.
Yep.
And then I could actually, invest in myself, waste money on it, and it comes back.
Yep.
But when you're like have no money, it's hard, bro. It's hard.
It's tough. Like, you got nowhere to go but up, but also, like, it's hard to go up when you don't have the money to begin with.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like, the content's easy once you spend all the money on all the equipment. Once you have everything, then it's like, it's pretty easy. But
even to get a studio,
oh, dude,
it's money, bro.
This costs a stupid amount of money. All these cameras cost too much damn money. It's a big investment, It's a lot. I'm sure Chris knows. All these cameras are his.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Silverstrand.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Shout out all the viewers from Oxnard. Hey, if you're watching
Oxnard,
there, drop a like, drop a comment.
The whole 805 period,
Yeah.
The whole 805 period, they support a lot.
Let us know. If you're from there, tap in right now. So one of the things that I found really interesting about your story is you kind of described a lot of these, gun charges you were getting as minor cases leading up to what you called in a previous interview the big case that you got.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk about that at all?
Yeah, of course. So I already talked a little bit about it, which my arrest.
Yep.
When I had the gun and I was running.
Yep. But that was a huge case. That was bigger than just you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was bigger than just me, but just me alone. I got arrested for conspiracy to assault somebody with a firearm. So that alone carries a long time. You see what I'm saying?
I've never even heard of that charge.
Well, there's a wiretap, so they're listening to everything I'm saying. Me arguing with this guy, me going to go get a gun. Me saying, whatever I said about him, and it becomes a conspiracy because it didn't happen. They stopped it. The cops believe that they stopped me from shooting somebody. That's what they believe, And I mean, if that's what they want to say, it is what it is. I'll go along with it.
Doesn't matter if they actually did or not in the court system.
So I was already getting out in 10 days, and then they hit me with extortion charges.
Wow.
So there was this dude, Bruce Tuttle, and he got caught with I don't know how many, $30,000 to $50,000, $30,000 or $40,000 in Portland. He became an FBI informant, which is a human source.
Yep.
And when I got arrested, the people that stayed out, that they linked to me, they home invasion him. They home invasion him. They slapped him around. The cops heard it all on the wiretaps. So the cops get at him. He goes to see his FBI handler, and the sheriffs are right there. They're like, look, we know everything that's been going on. We had a wiretap. Then they start following him because he didn't want to tell them nothing about me. And they get him with some heroin.
Oh,
and
not good.
then once he got caught with the heroin, he was like, yeah, he told them everything about me. And they got me for extortion. And basically it was 27 people. We all had our own charges. And they said, well, that the main goal was to, that they were trying to collect, I forgot if it was 50,000. Correct me if I'm wrong on the newspapers, because this is all public knowledge. And they say that we were trying to get a cartel member out of a prison in Mexico. That's what the case was.
That sounds really serious.
Well, I mean, that's what I lived.
Yeah. Fuck. So, do you know how long after that person started telling on you that the cops actually came and got you? Was there like a while that they waited?
I was already in jail, remember?
Oh, yeah, because you had 10 days left.
Yeah, I had 10 days left.
Did you just get some paperwork at your cell one day?
Oh, they came. It's called the dungeon where we're at, which is underground in Ventura County Jail.
Okay.
And they came to every door, and most of us were there, you know? So they hit me, they hit my neighbor, they hit people on the other side. I could hear people yelling, hey, did they give you guys new charges? Yeah, they gave me new charges. Everybody had the same charges, which was extortion. But I was the only one that actually extorted somebody.
Oh, shit.
Or not. I'm the only one that actually had a victim.
The other people, they were just kind of throwing the charge on them.
Yeah.
Sounds
well, the guy was only telling on me.
Yep. So you go to court for this. All of a sudden, you're not getting out in 10 days anymore, it sounds like.
No, I did 5 years.
Yeah. So how quickly after getting those new charges did you get sentenced to that extra 5 years?
2 years, 4 months.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a long time to wait for that sentencing.
That's a long time.
Did they give you any credit for how long you were in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they better.
They gave me 11 years. I did 5 years and some change.
Dude, getting sentenced to 11 years must be, like, heart-dropping.
No, well, I mean, I was happy that I didn't get life.
Yeah.
Because just...
That's something you were facing at that time?
Conspiracy to assault somebody with a firearm carries the same charge as if you shot somebody.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Any conspiracy that you get arrested for carries the same time as their actual charge.
I didn't know that. That's fucked up.
So I had conspiracy to do that. I had conspiracy for a transnational importing.
Anything with the word transnational in it, you're fucked.
Yes.
That's a serious fucking word. So you get sentenced to 11 years as your actual sentence. Did you know upon getting that sentence that you were going to be able to get out sooner than that? Or did you think like...
No. I went into a level 4 yard, which is maximum security.
Oh, fuck.
It wasn't a 180 because there's a difference between a 180 and a 270 yard. But I was in a 270 level 4, Calipatria. I landed in 2015, and I was there for a whole year. And in 2016, I dropped points, and I went out of state to Mississippi and Arizona. Yeah, but before I caught that case, like during my prison life, I had already been to High Desert level 4 180, New Delano level 4 180. I had already been to Folsom level 3, Centinela level 3, Ironwood level 3. I had already been around.
That's crazy. You're just naming off all these different facilities and like high security levels too.
Yeah.
Like you've really been around. So it sounds like...
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the one that's been around the most.
Of course,
I don't like doing it.
Of course.
I just want to say this is my experience.
Yeah.
This is what I went through.
It's your story, yeah.
You know, like even from my city, like I don't want to say I'm the most hardcore because I know from my city right now there's maybe two little youngsters that do music and they're there for murder in the county jail. There's one from Saracoy. He does music and he's right there allegedly. No, well, he's right there facing a murder charge. I'm not saying he did it. I don't know nothing about it.
It's an allegation.
But yeah, those are the allegations. But they're in there for those crimes.
Yeah.
You know? So it'll be irresponsible for someone just to say, "Oh, I'm the baddest."
Of course.
You know, like.
Well, I think it just makes it more impressive that you're able to sit here and tell the story.
Of course.
You know, I think
Of
that's what
course.
people should be getting out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow.
But I also gotta stay humble.
Of course.
You know,
Of
pay
course.
respect to those that are living that right now.
Yeah, those that aren't able to be here and tell that
Yeah,
kind of story.
yeah.
You're their voice right now.
Yes,
You know?
yes, sir.
So, you know, you get sentenced that 5 years, or that 11 years.
And
You're
that
in
was my
there-
last time in prison. So I've done a lot of prison time. You know, I've done a lot of violations.
Yep.
Violation turns into, you know, you get busted with a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? I got busted with a shotgun on a violation. The violation turned into like almost 2 years for beating people up in
Damn.
there. You know, I caught extra time.
Yep. It sounds like pretty impossible to avoid catching extra time when you're going to jail and then you still have to do gang stuff in the jail.
Well, there's fools that don't want to catch no time and they just
Yep.
mind their own business.
Go in there, do the thing, get out.
I was in there like, hey, can I do it?
Yeah, like,
Can I
please
do
pick
it?
pick me. I'll go do it.
Yeah.
So, was there a difference? Because you said you got transferred out of state and pretty far away by the sounds of
My
it.
last time going to prison, you know, I went to Mississippi, and I remember it was 34 hours from Arizona. From
Damn.
Phoenix, Arizona, 34 hours
How'd they transport you?
through bus.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's gotta suck.
We passed through Oklahoma, Nebraska. Is it Nebraska? No, Arkansas. Arkansas. Arkansas and then Mississippi, yeah.
That's a boring state.
And then you're like this, you know, with the little black box. You can't even move.
What happens if you like got to go to the bathroom on the bus? Do they like stop?
They
for
let you. No, they let
Okay.
no. The bus keeps moving.
Okay.
The bus
Is there a
keeps
bathroom
moving.
on there?
See the difference between the out of state bus and the California bus. And the California bus, you can't talk.
Oh.
And the out of state bus, you could.
Oh.
Yeah.
The out-of-state bus is fun. Well,
To
more
a
fun.
certain extent.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once you get out of California, you're like, fuck yeah. You know.
Yeah.
So is there a difference in
But once you get out of California, bro, you're already tired. You're like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like.
you're on a journey at that point?
Excuse
So
me.
I'd imagine gang culture is pretty different when you're moving to a prison that's in a totally different state.
The thing about that I didn't know, or I never really cared to ask, is that they put you with all California inmates. They didn't mix us with Mississippi inmates.
Weird.
We would see them because they had their own jail in the facility. They had their own section, so we would see them like cutting grass and stuff like that. We would talk to them. It was mostly African American folk. Yeah.
So do you think that you kind of got to like chill out on having to do a lot of the fighting and gang stuff there, or was it still like
Where?
when you got transferred out of state?
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro, and this is documented. The cops know, you know what
Yeah.
I mean. I ain't never seen so many brutal stabbings as I seen over there
Wow.
out of state. There was more.
Wow. So it's worse going out of state.
I mean, it was just a lot of stuff was happening,
Fuck.
you know. And this is not. I'm not talking about stuff that people got away with.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the cops came and arrested people for it.
Yeah.
So it's they know.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
This is already out there.
This is already out there.
Yeah.
Documented.
So you're getting transferred around out of state. How soon before you got released did you know, like, oh, I'm going to get out in 5 years. I'm going to get out early?
When I got transferred out of state.
Like, how soon, like, you're getting transferred around?
Okay, well, look. Funny thing is that when I got to the court sentenced me to 50% out of the 11 years.
Oh, okay. So you knew
the court sentenced me to that.
Okay.
When I get to law school, prison says, no, you're doing 85%.
Oh, no.
So now I'm going to do a couple extra years. And then it was a battle. I had to get on my lawyer, crooked ass lawyer by that, you know. But at that. And then, you know, after a few grievances, they fixed my time, you know. And then when I was in Arizona, I got my GED, so they knocked out like 90 days,
Oh, okay.
you know. And I didn't know I was going to get out until the day I got out. You know what I'm saying? Because even before I got out, they sent me to Centinela State Prison, A-Yard.
Yep.
That's where I paroled from. And, I mean, anything could happen. I remember the guys right there asked me, "Hey, if we need you to beat somebody up, are you willing to do it even though you're going home?" And I said, "Yeah." You know,
Got to do what you got to do.
I'm not gonna say no.
You'll worry about it later. So I'm kind of intrigued too. You're probably the best authority that I've gotten the chance to talk to on this show about it. I'm interested in hearing about prison food.
Prison food?
What's the deal with it? Is it really as bad as like everyone says, or is there like a good dish that you get every now and then, or what's the scoop?
Look, reception food sucks.
Okay.
Reception food is not the business. Mainline food, they actually, cook it.
Yep.
You get eggs,
There's a kitchen.
They flip them. There's a kitchen, You get coffee cake. Everything right there mixed with peanut butter.
Okay.
Coffee cake, anything you mix it with peanut butter. Soup, you do the soup, you boil it, and then you put a little bit of peanut butter. You mix it in there, and it tastes good.
Why the peanut butter?
They give you peanut butter for lunch, so I guess people just start mixing it with everything.
I mean, fuck, it probably helps.
Yeah, it does.
Peanut butter's good, dude.
It gives you a flavor, Yeah, but the food in there it's okay. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's just, I feel like when people say it sucks, they don't give you enough. I think that's what sucks.
So you're just still hungry after you eat.
Yeah, bro.
So how do you get around that? Are you getting like commissary, or what's the...
Well, you get commissary. You can go up to $220 a month. Or like me, I experienced most of my time on lockdown, so I would pay the white boys to go to store for me. I'll put $100 on their books. Whoever doesn't know restitution, they'll give me 80 and they'll keep 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good cut for them.
Yeah.
That's
So
nice.
I would get a lot of soups for me and my Sally.
Yeah.
And then next month I'll get like beans, a lot of beans, and we still have soups.
What are like some of the best things on the commissary menu?
On the commissary menu, the cheese squeeze.
Okay.
Cheese squeeze.
Okay.
Roast beef.
Okay.
Shredded beef.
Oh, so you can get like lunch meat and stuff. Okay.
You can get the packs. What are they called? Food packs?
Yeah, the little like
Pouches.
Yeah, the little like boar's head
Yeah.
meat pouches or whatever. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, that's actually not bad. I was expecting like just like ramen, like
Ramen's there.
which, yeah, of course they got that. Yep.
Ramen is good, but I feel like overall it gave me high blood pressure.
Yeah, dude, there's so much sodium in that shit.
yeah.
I mean, one of those is like a nuke to your fucking blood system.
Yeah.
I stopped eating ramen because, like, once you read the label, dude, you'll probably have a heart attack.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit, So, you get out early. You do your 5 years out of your 11. And that was fairly recently that you got out. That was less than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I got out in December 2017. So I kind of say I got out in 2018 because, December I already got out maybe a week before Christmas.
And you were saying earlier, too, prior to COVID happening, you actually had things going pretty good. Like
Yes,
you had a job
yes,
and all that.
I was into I got into this company that had a contract with Edison, so they would send us to Bishop. To Bishop, there's a lot of mountains that had Edison poles, and we would do 10 feet, 20 feet around it, everything to the bottom. So if there's a tree right there, we gotta take it down.
And what's an Edison pole?
Edison light pole.
Oh, okay.
Electricity pole.
Okay. All right.
Either that or towers, light towers.
You don't have to climb up that shit, do you?
Yeah, you have to.
Oh my god.
So
bro, I'm so scared of heights. I can't do
we're
that.
over here some of them you could drive, and some of them you just have to walk up there. So you're carrying the weed whacker, somebody's carrying a blade, somebody's carrying a chainsaw, somebody's carrying the gas, somebody's carrying the water. Yeah,
That's hard fucking work,
bro.
Dude. How do you get trained for that? Do they just take you out there with them?
They just take you out there with them, man.
You gotta learn on the
company.
fly.
Shout out to the company. It's called BC Tree Service. They gave me a chance, and I learned a lot from them,
Nice.
But I wanted to make more money, so.
So then, what happened during COVID? That kind
The
of screwed things
COVID,
up?
they stopped work.
Yeah, it fucked
COVID
everything
stopped
up.
work
Yeah.
for them, I think the only ones that stayed are the ones that make houses.
Yeah. 'cause
Construction.
That never ends.
Yeah.
Real estate never dies.
I think that those were I forgot what they're essential workers. Yeah, I think that was the ones,
Yeah, I guess that is an essential worker.
And then it was hard to get a job after that. I've been in construction, so last year I got a job for 6 to 8 months, and I was doing bridges,
Oh.
fixing bridges, which is They do some. It's like concrete.
Yep.
It's called poly, and that's what we were doing. So you jackhammer the bridge everywhere there's holes, and then you patch it up with poly.
You ever seen someone get injured on the job doing construction?
You know what? When I went to Stockton, because I was working in Stockton, somebody had got killed, but I did not see it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
How'd they get killed?
Oh, they get ran over. We're working the freeway, bro.
That's horrible.
We're working in the freeway.
That's horrible. The
Yeah.
freeway. I always feel so bad for those guys working on the freeway.
It's,
I'm like,
hey, shout out to everybody working on the freeway, man.
100%.
It's a hard job.
those guys got balls.
But even the people that are working in the towers, bro, there's a lot of snakes.
I
know?
mean, you're out there.
Yeah.
Dude. You're in the wilderness, bro. You're either
Just
dealing with
respect to everybody that is working in the field.
anyone doing hard manual labor. You gotta tip your hat
Respect
to
to
that,
anybody
you know?
that's working, period. But those guys right
100%.
there, they're earning it.
Those guys, yeah, they're really getting
Yeah.
to it. You know, me, I feel like I got it pretty cushy here. Those guys are busting their ass.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. So, did you think that you had a harder time kind of staying on the right path once you lost work, or were you still able to focus and like stay out of trouble?
You know what? Well, for the first 2 years on COVID, they were giving you money, unemployment.
Dude,
So-
that unemployment stimulus was
right,
hitting, dude.
So basically, I mean, it was lovely.
Yeah.
It was lovely, but it made me not want to go to work. It made me like,
Everybody.
why am I gonna go to work if they're giving me all this money? And that's bad. I feel like that was bad.
I have a lot of friends who made more money staying at home during COVID than
Yes.
they've like ever made working.
Yes.
Like by a lot too. They were handing out thousands of dollars a
Yes.
month and asking no questions.
Yes. I feel like that was a bad thing.
Very
They-
bad.
They shouldn't do it again.
For sure. Yeah.
Even if they do, I'm not gonna be content with it now that I know how bad it is
Yeah.
to get back on your feet.
it's difficult getting that easy money, dude, because the moment that faucet dries up,
Yeah.
what the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to go back and work for that shit. Give me that fucking unemployment back, man.
For real.
You know? God, I remember during COVID, I didn't have the unemployment, but the stimulus. I remember I got that first stimulus, and I didn't think that like I was even gonna get it. Like I didn't think because like back then I was just up to no good. I was a delinquent. I wasn't even like fucking claiming most of my money and shit. I was in trouble back then. So like I remember it showed up at my house, opened that envelope. I could not believe it. I was like, the government gave me
Yeah.
over $1,000.
That's good.
I'm
you
spending
know?
all this shit on cocaine.
Oh, where's it at? Where's it at? Now, but see, look, to be honest with you, I'm going to say this to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've sacrificed a lot being out here, being broke and just going through stuff like that.
Yep.
But I managed to stay out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all the little sacrifices that I've done, being broke, whatever it is, it's kept me out of jail, out of prison.
Yeah.
You know? So now I'm in a path where I'm almost going to finish probation. I finished parole. And then I caught a new charge for, it was a domestic issue.
Yeah.
I broke some windows.
Way
And,
it goes.
You know?
Way it
So-
goes.
So I think I might get out probation in March.
Oh, nice.
If everything goes good,
Okay.
If everything goes good, but I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about getting the license for trucking and adding value to myself, But I feel like all the little things I'm doing are going to pay off
For sure.
and are sacrifices that kept me out of jail, keeping me out of jail.
Yep.
If I would have went for the bag, started selling, I feel like I would have went back right away.
For sure. For sure. What's really interesting to me about your story, too, is like you would expect, looking from the outside, that like you were doing drugs, while you were a gang member or something. And maybe like,
At some point I was.
yeah, you were. But like what I'm gathering is you weren't like a hardcore drug addict and doing this stuff
No,
because
for
of
drugs?
the drugs,
No,
yeah.
no.
And I think it also makes a kind of testament, like you have a pretty strong mind to be able to soberly do those things and then also soberly decide like, hey, I'm going to change my life up.
Yeah.
That's something that like, if you don't get sober and experience that total mental change, you have to have a lot of willpower to even do that.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, it just you balance it out. Like, do I
Yeah.
want to be right here or do I want to be out here?
So we kind of haven't touched on the drug stuff that much, but what kind of drugs did you do?
I've experienced with different types of drugs, cocaine, crystal methamphetamine, and that's pretty much it. You know, I never really experienced with anything else. Is that the right word? Experience?
Yeah. Never experienced anything else. That's the right way to put it. Do you remember your first time trying those?
I don't want to put it on blast, but, you know, one of my uncles gave me some coke. You know what I mean? Well, I was a little kid. I was probably like 13.
Wow.
13, 14.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's just those Mexican families, bro.
How'd you react to it doing it that first time? Did you like it?
I liked it. You know, I liked it. It numbs you up, you know? Yeah.
Yep.
But it was never my drug of choice. My drug of choice was methamphetamine. But I'm the type that, you know, I could be as high as you could be, have an ounce on me, and just say, you know what, this is getting me nowhere, flush it.
Really?
I don't know how many people could do that.
Not a lot, honestly. Not a lot.
So I never really considered myself like a drug addict where drugs are going to impede me from succeeding in life.
You were a drug
user.
Maybe enthusiast.
Yeah. I mean, depends on the wordplay you want to use. You
So
know?
what made meth your drug of choice?
Oh, I mean, when it comes to drugs, that's the what makes me feel the best. I don't like downers. I like to be up. You know, I remember kicking it in alleys with gang members, older gang members in Oxnard, Pleasant Valley, and Cypress, and everybody was doing drugs. You know, some of them were doing heroin, some of them were doing crack, and some of them were doing methamphetamine, and I like methamphetamine.
Meth is an interesting one. That's one of the few that I never tried.
Yeah.
I did most of the other stuff. Did a lot of cocaine.
Well, don't try it because, you know,
for sure,
it messes people up
Yep.
differently. I know people that can't leave it.
Oh, yeah.
I know people that can't leave it. I know people that could take a line and then don't do it for a whole year.
Yep.
And then I know people that no matter what happens to them, they will not leave the habit.
Oh, meth will tear your life up.
Yeah.
Meth will completely destroy your life. I've known a lot of meth addicts. My roommate, when I went to rehab when I was younger, was a meth addict. And it was really crazy watching, like, meth's powerful, dude.
Yeah.
Like, all drug addiction is strong, but meth addiction is really strong.
Yes. But see, I feel like when you're in jail and prison, like drugs are part of the culture. And I'm glad I've never experienced the things that I said I would when I was in there. But first thing, off limits, no needles for me.
Me too.
I feel like once you cross that line where you're using needles to get high,
sure.
I feel like the high comes, you can't control it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're off the deep end at that point.
Yeah. So a lot of people in there, they don't have the money, so they rather just needle it in there and they get high. And another thing about me, I never did drugs in prison. Never. Because I felt like it just clouds your judgment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But aside from that, I remember people talking about hot rails. And I promised myself that when I would go home, I was going to try some hot rails. And it never happened. To this day, it never happened. And I'm glad, you know, because I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be able to control that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God you didn't try that shit.
I'm able to control the little pookie thing or whatever, you know.
Yep.
But as far as anything from further than that, I don't know.
Injecting it is for sure like where I drew the line too.
Yeah, I'll never inject this. So if for whatever reason I ever overdose on injection, somebody killed me.
It wasn't you.
Somebody killed me.
It was not you. Dude, I'm so bad with needles. Even when I get like my blood drawn, I almost pass out doing that shit, dude. I can't look.
I don't mind that. I just told myself I would never use a needle.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk down on people that do. That's their
sure.
choice, you know, but I don't think that's something that I'm interested in.
100%. Yeah, I'm not interested in that either. How different is like the drug trade in jail? Drugs are probably way more expensive, yeah?
I don't want to touch on that because I don't want to get in trouble. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. I never talk about that.
Okay. All right. We'll pass on that one then. Yeah. So, you know, now that you're kind of out and you've got your stuff together, what's your plans for the future?
Well, my plans for the future is first and foremost, the internet comes second.
Okay.
I got to secure a job. That's my plan. Secure a job like trucking or the union or something good. And then on my free time, I'll invest whatever time I can on YouTube. I feel like YouTube is the future.
It is.
And I feel like it hasn't been discovered to the point where it's at its maximum capacity.
There's still a lot of room to grow.
Yes.
Yeah. And YouTube, I mean,
You're doing something smart. You're doing something smart, navigating into. You could actually control this gang block things because you're not a gang member, bro. You're going to be welcome anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I stay out of the gang politics.
Yeah.
I don't want any part.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean you can't make content.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, anyone who's down to give me a tour where they came from, I'm always down to go check it
Yeah,
out.
boy!
Sounds interesting to me.
Let's go to Bakersfield.
Just don't shoot at me. You
Nah. You got to make it safe for yourself first.
Yep, 100%.
But that's my plan, bro. I'm going to secure a job, and then wherever YouTube takes me, I have 33,000 followers right now. I haven't invested no money in it.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's good.
I spent a lot of money on myself long before I got to that point. So you're off to a damn good start so far. And I mean, like I said earlier, I checked out your channel and you get a lot of views. Like you got a fan base, and a strong one. So I mean,
I hope it grows. I hope it grows.
I think after this drops, it will for sure.
What do you think this is gonna do? EC 200?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I mean, lately all the episodes have been doing good.
I seen you. You have nothing under 100 except for Lush.
Well, Lush, we just dropped. He's actually about to break 100K.
Is he?
So, yeah, we got Lush coming
Shout out to Lush then.
Yeah, Lush is the homie.
I was already going to verbally attack him, but never mind.
I thought you said we weren't talking shit this show. So, for the people out there that are watching at home, let's say like there's someone young and they're in a similar situation where they're in and out of juvie. Maybe they're getting in trouble a lot. What advice would you give them?
The advice I give them is this. It's simple. You do what you want to do with your life. But I'm going to tell you right now that the 5, 10 little homies you have, out of those 10 homies, probably 5 or 6 are going to piece you up, become rats. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And a lot of you guys are going to end up in prison for a long time unless you change your life right now. You don't have to be a punk. You don't have to be a B. You don't have to be a lame. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself a job, secure yourself a family, and work on yourself. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, bro.
That's the cool thing to do. It really is, in my opinion, at least. So I got some fun questions that I always like to save to the end.
Let's get it.
I always like to ask a random array of questions. Some of them come from viewers. Some of them come from me. Now,
we're not live, are we?
No, we're not live. No, we can add any of this out. We are not live. So the first fun question that I have written for you. What's the biggest animal you think you could take in hand-to-hand combat?
Man, you know what? I read the Genghis Khan books, and maybe if I have the proper training, I'll do what his son did and go at it with a tiger.
Really?
Yeah, he went at it with a tiger. He killed a tiger.
You think you could do that?
If I had the proper training and I grew up like them, yeah.
Damn.
Now, I don't think so, bro.
You think that's a true story, though? You think his son did that?
I believe. I mean, there were savages, bro.
I mean, yeah, Genghis Khan, the Mongols did a lot, dude.
Bro, they took over
fucked shit
China.
up. Yeah,
they took over China.
They took over all of the whole continent, pretty much.
Egypt.
Yeah, they were running it, dude. They were deep. Damn. Okay, so you'd channel your inner Mongol and fight a tiger.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Like I said, if I had that type
Let's
of
say
training.
right now, like
right now,
a bunch of animals walk in the door. What's the biggest, scariest one you can take?
I'd probably go at it with the kangaroo if
That's
they
a
put
strong one.
if they put gloves on them.
Okay.
Because I heard they could kill you with their paws.
I think they can. Yeah, they can break your bones and shit.
Yeah, but if they put gloves on, I'll fuck them up.
Kangaroos are weird as hell. There's like nothing else like that.
But in Australia, they're big. They're big. You know.
Oh yeah, dude. Imagine just like walking outside and seeing a kangaroo like hopping down the street.
Yeah, I probably would just run.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm dipping, dude. I'm out of here for that for sure. All right, the next one. If you could only drink one beverage for the rest of your life besides water, what would you choose?
I'll choose water, bro.
If you couldn't choose water, you had to choose anything.
But without water, you wouldn't survive.
Well, yeah, of course. But like, water's a part of every beverage.
Okay.
If you think about it like
part
that.
of every beverage. I would say natural juices.
Okay.
Like, coconut water. Oh,
ooh, coconut water is a good
Praise
answer,
the
actually.
Lord.
Do you prefer that over regular water?
I do.
Okay.
I heard it's better than water.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, like it's
That's
definitely
what I
better for
heard.
you. I don't like how it tastes, though. I can't get over it.
I love it.
It tastes like lotion to me.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Why would you say lotion, bro?
Well,
hold up. This is getting kind of weird right here.
My bad.
Nah,
it does taste that way, though. I don't know. But it's for sure more hydrating.
I like the tasting. I mean, I don't know.
Have you ever had it like straight out the coconut?
Yeah, of course.
Damn,
all the
maybe
time.
that's where I'm fucking up. I've only
Even
had a
even
bottle
the even
shot.
the Mexican where they sell fruit, I just stop every time and be like, "Hey, you sell coconut water?"
I love those fruit
Yeah.
vendors, dude. I go every
Yeah.
time, bro. I got the fucking pineapple, watermelon, kiwi, get a little chamoy on top. It's a wonderful.
Yeah.
I love those little stands. All right, next up, what's your favorite sports team?
You know what? It's funny, right? Because in my area, every gang has a sports team.
Oh, really?
So we're in my neighborhood. We're all diehard Raider fans.
So that brings up another interesting thing. I've seen like an LA gang culture too. There's a lot of like sports team hats that are considered like gang flags, and you can't
In
wear
Oxnard, it's all gang flags.
Okay.
With the sports.
So do you guys kind of like know when there's just like, oh, that's just a normal guy who's not a gang member wearing
Oh,
that?
you gotta hit them up.
You always hit him up, anyways.
Yeah, well, if they're wearing that, usually if you're in one neighborhood, and they're wearing what that neighborhood wears, they're usually one of them.
Yeah.
Because the gang members are not gonna just let regular people wear that, you know?
Yeah.
Or they'll advise them like, look, you might get shot if you're wearing this.
So if I like, let's say I pull up, to like your enemy's area and I'm wearing like a Raiders hat,
Yeah.
they're just gonna fuck me up.
Low key, yeah. Or they'll tell you, hey, you're from El Rio?
Oh.
Yeah.
If I tell them like, no, I'm not from here, will they give me a chance to take it off, or is it up?
I mean, it's a neighborhood. It's a rival neighborhood. I can't tell you what they would do.
Yeah.
But in my neighborhood, if I seen you and I was still actively gangbanging, because at a certain point, you become institutionalized and you don't gangbang no more.
Yep.
You're still from the gang, but you're not set tripping on the gangs. I don't do that no more. But when I was doing it, I would have been on you.
Yep.
Be like, lift up your shirt. Let me see your tattoos.
Yeah, you got a tattoo? You got a wire? Let's see what's going on over
Yeah,
there.
what's going on over there?
So before we get to the next one, I actually have a little gift that I want to give you today.
Okay.
And I was telling you about this earlier. You said this is going to be a great gift for
Yeah.
you. Now, as you guys saw earlier in the episode, this is sponsored by Lil Baby's Wham, which is his new weed brand and also the name of his new album, which is available now on streaming platforms. So go bump that. But we got a whole bunch of Wham here, and I want to give you some today.
Thank you, bro.
So
I
please
appreciate that, bro.
Enjoy. Take this home. This is Wham by Lil Baby. Here, take these two.
Oh, man.
Enjoy.
I appreciate that, bro.
That should be a half ounce right there.
Is it?
Enjoy. It's good shit.
Why can't I get a whole ounce? That's crazy.
They didn't
dog.
even
That's
send
crazy.
me a whole ounce.
Damn.
Ask a Lil Baby. Lil Baby, where's my whole ounce? I only got half. There's no weed in that one. That's our prop bag.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, my
we
God.
don't keep those are the bags we keep here year round. So we don't put weed in those because it'll go old. But
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
of course, no problem. Enjoy that. Yeah, it's Lil Baby's new weed brand in partnership with Bay Smokes.
And like I said, if you want to just pull up to Bakersfield, I'm down to do it. We'll announce it. Or anywhere else in the 805.
That sounds fun to me. That sounds like good content. I'm always game.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out after this.
Yes,
we'll link
sir.
up for sure. So I got two more fun questions before we're off the hook here. Second to last one. Let's say you never got in trouble when you were younger. You never, joined a gang, did any gang-related stuff. What do you think you'd be doing right now?
If I never got arrested before, I probably would have been a successful union member.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You think you'd be like
I would have
working for the actual union?
Yeah, well, I'm actually working for them right now, but if I would have started at 18, I
You'd be
would
high up there.
I would have had a career right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those union guys, they be making money.
Yeah, they do.
Those guys are doing good for themselves. Shout out to all the union guys out there. Last but not least, what's your favorite movie?
Life.
Ooh.
You know that movie?
No, I thought you just meant like life itself.
No,
I thought you were trying to be deep there. I didn't know.
Life is Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy.
Oh, I haven't
they
seen
get
it.
arrested and they do life for a murder they didn't commit and they let them out when they're old.
Oh shit!
It's a classic.
Ooh, okay. Wait, yeah. Let me look this up. You said it's got Eddie Murphy in it.
Life, yeah. Movie Life. Eddie Murphy, movie Life.
Oh, this one right here.
Bam.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's the
boy.
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
solid pick right there. I haven't seen this before.
You seen it before?
I haven't. No.
Yeah, I recommend it, bro.
I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, I'll check this out later. I've been on a big movie kick lately. All right. Well, ladies and gents, that's today's episode with Cholo Juan. Juan, I just want to say, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with us. I think the audience is definitely going to learn a lot from this episode, and it's been a great talk.
Yeah.
Great talk.
I just want to say shout out to all my family. Shout out to the homie Swifty Blue for shooting me some merch.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to my boy Nano for always supporting the Tree Factory. And everyone that supports, shout out to you. Thank you.
I love that. So for everyone watching who might not know you, where can they find you at?
Cholo Juan on YouTube, which is CHOLO. Maybe you should search it up.
Yep.
So they can see it.
We'll overlay it. I don't have the screen recording right now, but we'll put it over.
Cholo Juan on YouTube. Always Salt 17 on Instagram. Maybe I could spell it for you later.
Nice. Yeah, text it all to me, and then we'll put all the links. We'll put it in the comment section. Check the pinned comment below for all of Cholo Juan's links. Make sure you go follow him because you actually upload a lot on YouTube. You got a lot of content.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
There's a lot more Juan content. Go tune in. Drop a like. Drop a sub if you haven't
already. And if
already.
you want me to collab with him on some gang blogs somewhere, he has the cameras. We both got the charisma. Just drop a comment and make it happen.
Let us know, man. Let us know what you want to see. And also, shout out to Lil Baby and Wham. Go get your hands on some today. Wham THC.
Little Baby and Wham.
It's some fire. Don't miss out. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch y'all next week. Deuces.
Bye.